Hello and welcome. Motion Plus Lanes is the place in Cudahy, Wisconsin for the 2017 Hard Knocks Road to Gold Girls Finale. Van McNeil alongside Phil Brylow. It's been a summer of fun bowling that commences here for the ladies today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these ladies all worked hard all day long. We had them on 3 different lane patterns during the course of qualifying. A short pattern, 36 feet in length, a medium pattern, 40 feet in length, and a long pattern, 43 feet in length. They bowled 3 games on each. We have our top 4 qualifiers after that, and our top seed, Tatum Ruffalo, got to choose the pattern for the show, and she chose the pattern that she did pretty well on, kind of got her pulled away from the rest of the field, the 43-foot long pattern. Bad part is she's got to wait through the first 2 matches to see what's going to happen with transition on that pattern before she bowls for the championship and that $200 Visa gift card for our first place award today.
Not your typical 43-foot house pattern, nothing like that. This is a sports shot, Phil.
It's PBA compliant. You'd see the guys on tour bowling on a similar pattern. So can't wait to get to the lanes, Van. Let's get out there.
So we'll wrap up practice here, and we'll get going with our opening match as the 2017 Hard Knocks Road to Gold Girls Final begins next.
My first mission, defuse a bomb. My next mission, rescue hostages. Then, I was chosen to protect a VIP. All that, not even a scratch.
Hard Knocks is the world's largest indoor combat simulation arena. Experience real-life combat situations with realistic weaponry using no projectiles. Come to Hard Knocks and choose your mission today.
Are you ready to play? Hard Knocks, beyond laser tag, your indoor war.
Why do we have so many of our televised tournaments at Castle Lanes? Because we love being part of the wild side of bowling. If you're ready to get in touch with your wild side, go to castlelanes.com.
All right, let's go. Let's do it. All right, I'd just like to say on behalf of everyone here at Motion Plus Lanes and all the bowlers around the country, we'd like to thank our servicemen and women for all you do. Without you, we can't do this. Here, here. Please enjoy the show. We all salute you. Thank you.
And we are ready for action here at Motion Plus Lanes. Proprietor Carrie Catania, always in good spirits here, getting the crowd going, our competitors going. Van McNeil alongside Phil Brylow. You gotta love Carrie. He is awesome.
Well, just the support he gives, not just the bowling community, but the community in general. Hosts a lot of fundraisers here for autism awareness, breast cancer awareness, Toys for Tots, that huge one he does every year, and we really thank Carrie and his wife Jean for everything they do for us here at Motion Plus Lanes.
We get going with 19-year-old Haley Douglas from Montgomery, Illinois. Little light into the pocket.
Yeah, bowlers bowling on a 43-foot long pattern. Pattern was chosen by our top seed, Tatum Ruffalo. During the qualifying today, the bowlers each bowled 3 games on a short 36-foot pattern, a medium 40-foot pattern, and this long 43-foot pattern. You can see the players playing relatively straight, pretty far inside on the lane. They're just worried about getting that ball motion going the last 5 or 6 feet before the pocket, and a great cover there by Haley.
Yep, with her polyester spare ball, which is nice to see.
And once again, we want to thank Carrie and Jean Catania. Hard Knocks opening soon out in Pewaukee.
Pew, pew, pew.
Look for the information on that on upcoming shows for us as well. And great college player, good freshman year for Maddie Brandos down at Robert Morris University. And, not indicative of that shot. You can see the amount of oil in this pattern, Van. That ball started right and definitely stayed right.
Could be a little bit of the nerves here under the television lights, which is normal.
They never go away. It's been a while since we've seen Maddie on one of our shows. It's been about a year or so. Haley, her first time under the TV lights. So as these bowlers get the first shot or two out of their system, they'll settle down, and I'm sure we'll see quality shot making, quality spare making as well.
And there we go as she trips out the 7-pin.
Just a little bit late, not the way she really wanted to shoot at that spare. Usually you want to take them all out with the bowling ball, but she just uses deflection to her favor on that shot and manages to take down the picket fence.
All right, let's see how she does here on the left lane. 18-year-old originally from Brookfield, Wisconsin. Rocket to the pocket. Straighter is greater, Phil.
Well, definitely. It was only 17 feet of dry in this pattern. These ladies, as you can tell, pretty low on the rev rate, about a 250 to 300 RPM rev rate. You look at what Jason Belmonte and EJ Tackett do on the PBA Tour. They double that. That's 600. They can make the ball hook a little bit more, but it's not about how much the ball hooks on this pattern. It's about the strength of the roll right before the ball enters that 1-3 pocket.
Haley Douglas. I was going to say crossover, but completely crossed over.
Little on the nerves there, a little late on the push away, and you could see when she got to the foul line, the feet were there already, and she's a little what's called late with her timing, where the swing comes through after her foot has stopped moving and the ball gets past her ankle once the forward momentum stops. That was a little bit later than normal there, but she should be able to get herself settled down. A little better on the push away that time. You can see a little better in balance. Nice shot there.
Nice pickup. You can see the nerves in her face. Just got to take a deep breath and woosa, as they say.
Well, yeah, you know, it's just a matter of there's $200 on the line here, top prize today, $200 Visa gift card for these young players to spend on bowling equipment or new clothes or whatever they need to do to get back into the new college school year. And it's a lot of money for a kid that age, so they get a little extra pressure for that as well with bowling for these Visa gift cards.
And on the right side of the pocket, put a little flush and into a little bit of trouble here with this baby split.
Well, you see the strength of the roll right there. Ball drives through the 1-3 pocket a little high, doesn't get near the 9-pin. 2-pin goes around the 4, takes out the 7, and probably give Haley here about a 30% chance of making this spare with a bowler of her ability. Take that polyester ball, get it to the left side of the 4-pin, and cut it thin enough to take out the 9.
Quick smile on her face, because it did look good for a minute, and no.
Once again, you try throwing a little harder, firmer. Sometimes the timing gets off a little bit. And Haley Douglas finds herself down by 17 pins early in this match, and we've seen Maddie Brandos out here before. She's a girl that's going to fill frames. There's no doubt about it. She may only have 3 or 4 strikes in her frame or in a game, but she's not going to give you that open frame to take advantage to get back into the match. So it's going to be tough for Haley. She's going to have to start stringing them pretty soon.
An opportunity to step on the gas, and that just didn't grab there on the back end.
Well, you see Maddie right there. She looks down at that wrist device she's using and didn't get the fingers into it. The rotation just wasn't there. When you get your elbow, what's called chicken winging, the elbow gets to the outside of your swing plane early, and especially with those wrist devices, it doesn't let you get a proper amount of revs like you normally do on the shot. So it's kind of compounding the issue of bad timing, bad release, and it's one of those times where those wrist devices are actually a hindrance more than a help.
But at least she converts the spare, and we'll see if she makes the adjustment from here on out. But there's nothing wrong with the bulk, as they call it. You can reset if you feel something is not right. Take that time, step off the lane, and go through your routine again.
Absolutely. You can't afford to give a shot away when you only have a 10-frame match. And right there you see Maddie Brandos gives that shot away. Doesn't even hit the head pin on the left side. And now the 1-2-4, you can see something's bothering her a little bit. Whether it's something maybe they've had 9 games of bowling already today before they've gotten on the TV show. And sometimes if you're not used to the wear and tear of the grind of bowling, sometimes you get a little ache and pain that can bother you a bit. And another just outright terrible shot by Brandos.
As Haley Douglas opens the door, Maddie had an opportunity to step on the gas, but returning the favor to Miss Douglas. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically she put both shots in the same place for Brandos, and it's just something where you got to go back and mentally reset yourself.
An opportunity for 19-year-old Haley Douglas out of Montgomery, Illinois. Looks good. Grabbed a little bit at the end to go straight through the nose.
Yeah, I think she was a little surprised by that. She had that reaction, I'm on target line, it's good, and then it just read up a little early. You got to remember, though, Maddie Brandos was using the ball with a little more surface on it, could have taken a little oil off the end of the pattern. They're around the same area of the lane, and so with Douglas, she'll have to make that little bit of adjustment on the right lane, knowing it's going to hook a little sooner, and she should be able to get herself right back in the pocket.
Converts her spare with the polyester spare ball, which is nice to see. I'm going to keep repeating that because you should have a spare ball in your arsenal.
Yeah. Haley Douglas looks back at her dad, just gets a little bit of advice. Here, what's the move I should make on the shot? My advice to Haley would be just relax. You're close. You're not falling that far behind getting spares. Just get yourself back in the pocket. You're going to carry a few shots for strikes if you're in the pocket.
And again, through the nose, paying the ultimate price this time.
I just don't like the ball reaction as well. It's a little too snappy on the back end when the ball makes that move. It's very quick, and then it has no chance to really... It's quick and it's stopping. She needs something that gets a little bit farther on the lane, and that's a little more continuous. So she needs to change that entry angle a little bit at the pocket to break up those splits. I think a ball change might be in order for Douglas.
The pitch black, not doing it, but also in her arsenal today are the Haywire, the IQ Tour, the High Wire, and the Phase 2.
Yeah, we see a lot of kids going to urethane nowadays because of the early roll and how they can keep the ball in play. The problem with that is once the ball makes the early roll, it's kind of just dying out when it gets to the pocket. It loses energy, and then you stop having that ability to break up some splits on some high hits.
And I don't want to say solid pocket strike, but they all just kind of fell there when they hit the pocket.
Well, you got in the 1-3 pocket. Ball did some work. $25 high five gear gift certificate for Maddie Brandos for striking the high five gear fifth frame. And yeah, a little deflection there. You see the ball basically split the 5 and the 6. She's not coming out of it clean, but she's staying in the pocket. Yeah, she honestly caught a little bit of a break on that shot. Now to try to take advantage of it.
See if she can double up here and can't trip out the 10.
Breaks and bowling even out, Van, and right there, the good break she got last frame wasn't going to happen this frame. Watch that ball as it enters the 1-3 pocket on the replay. Just see the deflection again, and the ball almost hits the 6-pin once again, forces it into the flat gutter, and not enough energy on that 6-pin to bounce out and take out the 10.
We're talking about Haley's arsenal, Maddie's arsenal, the IQ Tour, the No Rules, the Timeless, and the Wreck'em as she converts the spare. And we will continue on as the 2017 Hard Knocks Road to Gold Girls Final continues here at Motion Plus Lane.
Barbiere's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mountain Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee.
Welcome back to Motion Plus Lanes here in Cudahy, Wisconsin. Van McNeil alongside Phil Brylow for the 2017 Hard Knocks Road to Gold Girls Final. Little fast forward here through the action, Phil.
Yeah, Haley Douglas light in the pocket in her 6th frame, then light on the spare attempt, only taking 1. Drops herself down by a 27-pin deficit. However, makes the ball change in the 7th frame. Nice roll through the pocket, gets the strike. Maddie Brandos crossover in frame 4, gets the lucky break for the strike in her 7th frame to maintain the lead. And then up in frame number 8, once again, she's got a case of the Yanks right now. Lucky to leave just the 6-pin. And then we know Maddie's spare game solid. No problem covering up that spare.
All right, a couple of strikes in the mix there as we fast forward through the action. Let's see if the strike train continues here.
Well, Haley Douglas needs to really get a double on the board right now. She's down by 27. She's in the 8th frame of the match already, and not a lot of time to put pressure on the opponent. You see Maddie Brandos just filling frames. She only has 1 open so far. Huge shot here for Douglas, and that's outright.
Yeah, complete miss of target. Didn't even grab, just kept on a trucking.
I think it was a little on the speed too, Van. It's easy to get amped up here under the TV lights. You want to make sure you throw a good shot, and you just get a little quick with it out of the hand, project a little too far to the right. Too much ball speed, no chance to come back. She just needs to keep that pace down and get the spare here, move on. You still have a chance, but now it's to the point of, instead of affecting your own destiny, your opponent, you got to count on them missing a spare too, and that's something I really don't see out of Maddie Brandos. Haley Douglas, so however, her maximum score right now is 187, so there's still a chance.
We've seen crazier things. Both competitors here in this match have opened the door for each other. Let's see if Maddie returns the favor. Haley, the chance to get back on track here.
Left out of the hand again, man.
But a strike. And A strike's a strike, as I like to say.
It keeps her alive for right now. I mean, 177 the maximum right now for Douglas. But Brandos right now, she's pacing out 184, so just a couple of marks in the 9th and 10th on good counts, and Brandos is going to advance to her semifinal match, and she'll take on her college teammate Courtney Ermish if she gets through this match.
If it's not over yet, Phil. Brandos. Come on.
We usually don't see a lot of emotion out of Maddie Brandos when she's on the lanes, very businesslike, but the paralyzed 5 right there, we see him more and more now. You just see that the group of pins to the left come back and hit the 5 pin at the same time the bowling ball does, and leaves the 5 pin standing. And all you can do now is just get your focus back together. Nobody misses a 5 pin on TV.
A 5/8 pin. Nice pickup from Maddie.
Still a little smirk on Maddie Brandos' face when she gets back now, but she knows business at hand. She's going to get that wrist device back on. She knows a mark with good count here in the 10th frame gets her into the semifinal match. Loses this match, goes home with a $25 Visa gift card. Still a good day out on the lanes for these players.
Looks good. Able to trip out the 10.
Best kind of mark, and if I were Maddie right now, I would try another ball. That ball just isn't really strong going through the pocket. You saw a lot of deflection there again. 6 barely gets the 10 out. I would try something that gets a little more length, maybe not as much surface, and just kind of saves a little more energy through the pocket.
Maybe that's it. I might slow down the ball speed a little bit. She's a little speedy.
You just said right there, and that's the exact opposite she did on that shot. Ball easily a couple miles an hour faster than her last shot, and you can just see 43 foot of oil, and it's a relatively heavy oil pattern. The ball just doesn't have a chance to slow down and start making its way back to the pocket.
Right.
A little late encountering friction because the ball speed and oil, and next thing you know, you're nowhere near the head pin.
You might have the right ball in your hand. You gotta let it do its thing. You gotta let it work.
But Maddie Brandos advancing to our semifinal match against Courtney Ermish. Waiting in the wings, Tatum Ruffalo, our top seed, will take on the winner of that semifinal match. And, hey, it may not be the greatest game for Haley Douglas right here, but she bowled great all afternoon long. Bowls for St. Ambrose University, teammates of Brent Boho and Billy Hibbert, who we see often here on our shows on Spectrum Sports.
She had a win in Iowa at the tour there in Monticello, and a very big thank you to her dad and coach. So we move on to our next match as the 2017 Road to Gold Girls Final continues here at Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy, Wisconsin. Welcome back to Motion Plus Lanes here in Cudahy, Wisconsin. There we go, Carrie Catania getting everyone pumped up as we look at the final score there of our opening match, 183 to 145. Maddie Brandos advancing here to our next match, taking on 20-year-old Courtney Ermish out of Big Bend.
Yeah, Courtney's third appearance this summer on the Road to Gold series. She's had a pretty good summer with us, and looking to take home her second title of the summer. Of course, she defeated Brent Boho earlier this summer. Gee, it seemed to be a running theme this summer.
I was going to say.
Beating Brent Boho in a championship match. Brent only 1 for 3 this summer in championship matches against the ladies, and Ermish just a little left on that shot, but covers up everything but the 6-pin with the ball.
Looked great, confident. First shot under the TV light. She's been in this situation before, and I think the nerve factor not bugging her this time.
No, and you know what? She likes to play the lanes straight, so she should be very comfortable on this little bit of a longer pattern, 43 feet. She's got a little bit more of a rev rate than we see out of some of the other ladies out here on the lanes, and pretty firm ball speed as well. Just get the right piece in your hand, relax it off the hand,
right.
And I think Courtney can throw a pretty decent game here. But, of course, we've got the lady that keeps filling frames, Maddie Brandos, only 1 open frame in that opening game. And when you're doing that in a tough condition like this, something that's almost equivalent to what they'd see on the PBA Tour, you're going to win some matches against your competition.
That's pretty good. The 18-year-old out of Brookfield with a nice strike there.
Well, you can see, not happy with the reaction through the pocket, a little weak with the 5 blowing over into the 7, but once again, it's just a matter of getting out of the ball cleanly. She's just not doing that at this point in time, but she's keeping the ball in play, and if you keep it in the 1-3 pocket, pins are going to bounce off each other. Eventually, they're all going to fall, and she's done that in the first frame.
We saw in that opening match against Douglas, she was messing with her thumb a little bit, and I thought she went back to that. We'll see if she adjusts here. As Courtney Ermish returns to the approach.
Well, you can see right there that ball's still skidding at the end of the pattern for Brandos, but it started getting into that roll near the 1-3 pocket. Enough ball speed, headpin came off the sideboards and shook around the 4, 5, and 7, and an opening double for Brandos.
See if Courtney can return the strike, and no, says the 10-pin.
6-pin goes around low, great shot. You see how strong that ball was rolling at the pocket, but just a little bit in the right side of that 1-3. Watch a little bit of deflection, 6 low around the 10. It could have fell for her. I mean, she knows she threw it good. Now you just got to get yourself back in together and not lose the mental outlook.
Right.
Fill the frame. Yeah, you're down by 11 pins early, but you've got 8 frames to go. You know you can throw a double 3-bagger in there somewhere and get yourself back in the match.
Yeah, she stuck at the approach there a little bit, and attitude is everything, Phil. You know, the mental game out here is just as important as the physical game. You get disappointed in yourself. Oh, I left a single pin. That was a great shot. Move on.
And Courtney's done that really well. If you had her do that back in her sophomore, junior years of high school, you wouldn't have seen the composure you have now. You know, you saw that in the first ball, the second frame, where frustrated, calmed right back down, no problem, made the spare. Once again, we see that anything right of about 10th board, that dartboard indicator down lane that you see on lane 3, it's not coming back.
Nope, just going to keep on sailing.
So, right a target on that shot. Should have no problem covering up the spare. And
Ooh,
of course,
boy.
She can't find the way to hook the ball all the way across the 1-2 and chops the 4 off that lead.
Opens the door for Maddie Brandos.
And you hate to say that a match can be over early, but if Brandos gets a 4-bagger to start with here, it's going to be real tough on this tough scoring condition for Ermish to come back.
Got a break there. Wow.
Made a big enough mistake. You know, that's the one thing right now you got to admit for Brandos. When she's making a mistake, it's not a small one, it's a big one, but that's what's keeping the ball basically out of trouble. She's crossing over. She's not going through the nose like we saw with Douglas a couple of times in game 1. And it's a big enough mistake where she's just leaving these single pin spares on crossover shots. Bowling's a funny game like that sometimes. Sometimes the bigger mistakes are the ones that save your game more than the smaller ones are.
Right, but it's about consistency and repeatability. If you are up the 3rd arrow a majority of the time and you wing one a crossover, something is wrong.
Well, and it's it's something with it all starts in the push away. So you got to make sure your timing's good. And right now, she's just got to take that extra bit to focus, make things happen. Better shot there.
Right. Gets the break, the light mixer strike, but hopefully Maddie will look back at this broadcast and take something away from it for sure in that one errant shot there.
Well, you just drop, like you said before, Van, you just got to just forget what happened, move on to your next shot. She's got a good line here. She's got enough ball speed on the ball where even if she hits a little light in the pocket, the headpin's still coming off the sideboard. It's not laying in that left side flat gutter, and it can come out and do damage on the 4, 5, and 7. So really, right now for Brandos, keep it straight, keep it clean, and stay ahead in the match.
Ermish looking to get back on track. A trip 7? What?
Well, you see the line change she made there. She slowed down. She moved a little bit farther right, gave the ball time to work. And when you see that, you just watch the strength through the pocket that it rolls through. I mean, the 2-pin comes off the sideboard, almost misses the 7-pin. It went so straight back. But a nice shot there for Ermish. And if she could strike here in the high 5 gear 5th frame, she's not only looking at a $25 high 5 gear gift certificate, she's looking at getting her lead back under 20 pins. For her deficit, I should say.
Step on the gas, and that was a miss of target for sure. Didn't even grab there on the back end, and she looks lost.
Well, when you miss two right like that and there's oil all the way across the lane, it's not your league shot. It's not going to come back and tickle the head pin. It's going to leave a washout, or she's lucky she didn't leave something worse. She didn't leave the 6-pin with it in a super washout. So now, move your feet, make the adjustment for the spare, get the ball to hook across the front of the head pin, and slide the head pin over into the 10.
And that's going to have to hurry. Well, count will have to do on that.
And a big deficit, 37 pins now, the deficit for Ermish against Brandos. And Maddie's got to be feeling pretty confident right now. Even if you don't strike this frame, throw a spare on the board, it's going to be tough for her opponent to make up almost 40 pins in the last half of this match. Especially with how Brandos is just plugging along. Stay calm, leave single pins, pick them up. Great way to go right now.
Lots of oil out here. 43 feet of oil. We were talking about that pad and bumper out there that you see in a house shot. That's not out here on this pattern. You don't have that luxury with these sport-type patterns.
Yeah, watch the head pin right there. Does some damage on the 4-5, but doesn't quite get far enough back to get the 7-pin. So Brandos can't live off that light hit all the time, not with her rev rate. Needs a little more drive on it. Maybe a ball that just goes a little longer, saves a little more energy, hooks in just a little bit harder, so the head pin doesn't have to do all the work back there. But when you're leaving 9s and filling frames, it's tough to get away from that sometimes.
Still, she's clean through 5.
And a big lead, 37 pins. I mean, that's the key right now. Get yourself out of this match. Get yourself into the championship match against Tatum Ruffalo, who was tough all day long, and battle it out for that $200 Visa gift card for the champion here today.
That's the other thing that people may not realize. Oh boy. There were 9 games of bowling before this, 10 for Maddie, as that ball did not pick up at all. Just kept going.
That was just all ball speed. She's on target line, but just not even close to staying slow on ball speed. You can see the ball was still skidding, 47, 48 feet down the lane.
Let's see if she converts, and a miss of that, and let's see if she'll be able to bounce back here. We're going to take a break as the 2017 Hard Knocks Road to Gold Girls Final continues. Welcome back to Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy, Wisconsin. Van McNeil alongside Phil Brylow for the 2017 Hard Knocks Road to Gold Girls Finals. We fast forward through some of the action here, Phil.
Yeah, Courtney Ermish and her 6 frame goes high. No problem picking up the 10 pin she left on that break. Frame 7 knows she needs to start striking in order to cut in the deficit. Once again, right at target and quick. No chance of getting the head pin. She gave up on that shot. By the time it got to the arrow, she knew it was that far off, but no problem covering the spare. Stays within 25 pins of Maddie Brandos, and Brandos' 7th frame on target line. Can't quite get the 10 pin to go. 6 a little lazy. Of course, we know she's not going to miss a single pin, and she proves us right. No problem on the cover. Up in frame 8 here on lane 3. Nice one at the line, but left the target. Gets it to hold, though.
There we go.
And maybe she found something with that shot. Had the ball speed up a little bit, missed a little left, and got the ball to hold, and still maintains a 25-pin lead, getting into our last 2.5 frames of this match.
Courtney Ermish, the 20-year-old out of Big Bend, Wisconsin, picking up her spares. Needs a strike here. Starting to put some pressure on Matt.
Courtney likes this house. Her and Billy Hibbard won the 2015 High School Mixed Doubles Championship here at Motion Plus Lanes, and she's all around that pocket on lane 4, and her carry percentage not so hot. We saw her leave a 10 pin before, a ring 10. Now she leaves the light 7 pin, and she knows the frames are running out. That shot there would have been huge. Try to start building a string of strikes now. Get the spare. You're still down by 26, and you basically have to strike out and hope your opponent makes a mistake so you can try to get into that championship match.
Interesting turn of events here. That looked good. That just hit the pocket right.
Well, as our buddy Joe Serrano likes to say, a round ball hitting round pins. Strange things that almost seem to defy the laws of physics can happen.
A must-strike situation for Ermish here if she wants to stay alive.
And the ball changed back, the inside line back, and no problem getting that ball to sit up in the pocket. And it's always easier when you think the pressure's off and the match is done. But Brandos here, her maximum score Right now 224, but she's pacing at a 190 pace, where the maximum score for Ermish striking out is 188. So Brandos knows, just got to keep filling frames, plugging along, I'll be fine.
Trip that 10 pin. Come on.
And once again, it's like the shot we saw there in the 7th frame. Almost an exact repeat. 6 just lays down in front of the 10. Not enough entry angle. Not enough strength on that ball roll. That deflection ball almost hits the 6 pin once again. If she has a chance in the fill ball in the 10th frame, she really should just take one shot and try something else. Something a little more aggressive, something a little more angular, just to get corner pins out a bit more. A 9 spare is great. You know you're in a tough condition, it can grind it out, but we've seen Tatum Ruffalo in qualifying throw strikes all day long. Led the field by almost 100 pins after 9 games. And you know, with a player like Tatum Ruffalo that can string strikes, filling frames isn't just going to be enough in the championship match.
I'm going to stand by my argument of ball speed. Let's see if Maddie adjusts here. Or not.
Well, she's trying to keep the ball speed up. Problem with it is, if that push away is a little late, you're going to steer everything left. The good news for Brandos is it's just a spare here and good count. She's going to be moving on to the championship match against Tatum Ruffalo. Bad news is I don't think another 190 game is going to cut it once it gets to the championship match.
We'll see what Tatum brings in that championship match. Bowling great all day to take that #1 spot.
Well, 7 pins a necessity right now for Brandos. That gets her to 189. Maximum for Ermish, 188. So the last thing you want to see right now, if you're Maddie Brandos, is a washout or a Greek church. Because then that still gives Ermish the chance to step up and throw some strikes to win. Not going to do it on that shot.
Ooh, or she does.
Well, she got 9 pins. She got more than the 7 she needed to advance. And Courtney Ermish, not a bad day for Courtney, taking home a $50 Visa gift card for her efforts out here on the lanes today. And with going back for her junior year at Robert Morris University in Chicago, she's definitely going to be battling her teammate Maddie Brandos for a spot in that starting rotation. No doubt about that, Ben.
Absolutely. Courtney would like to thank Kenny Ryan for drilling up her balls. Also, the coaching staff at RMU for the help to become the bowler that she is. I only expect great things from Courtney from here on.
It's one of those things where you see these young players when we've had them on our high school shows here on Spectrum Sports over the years. You know, we've seen Courtney grow a lot, not just as a bowler, but as a person on the lanes. You see the fired up attitude, the killer instinct she has, and you know there's a few more titles on the way for Courtney as she progresses in her career.
Absolutely. So Maddie Brandos advancing to our championship match. Will she have a great summer against Tatum Ruffalo? That championship match next as the 2017 Hard Knocks Road to Gold Girls Final continues here in Cudahy, Wisconsin.
My first mission, defuse a bomb. My next mission, rescue hostages. Then, I was chosen to protect a VIP. All that, not even a scratch.
Hard Knocks is the world's largest indoor combat simulation arena. Experience real-life combat situations with realistic weaponry using no projectiles. Come to Hard Knocks and choose your mission today.
Are you ready to play? Hard Knocks, beyond laser tag, your indoor war.
Welcome back to Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy, Wisconsin. Taking a look at the scores from our last match here at the 2017 Hard Knocks Road to Gold Girls Final. Championship match time, Phil Brylo, and Carrie Catania's ready to go.
Yeah, and so are these young ladies. Tatum Ruffalo have been waiting in the wings since the start of the stepladder. Tatum dominated qualifying today, and I got to make her the early favorite. She was able to pick this pattern to use in the championship match for the whole stepladder, and something tells me we're going to see her hit in the pocket quite often like she did on that first shot.
Did the break between qualifying and this championship match, does it help? Does it hinder a bowler?
I think for a bowler like Tatum, she has no problem either way. It's just knowing that you just need the single match. All you need is one win to lock up the stepladder finals, take home the $200 Visa gift card for the championship award today, and she's not letting the weight affect her. She was talking to people. She was staying loose on the practice pair. She's been there before. She knows what she's doing. I don't think that weight's affected her at all. great shot to start the frame off, and quality cover to fill frame one for Tatum Ruffalo.
Maddie Brandos, the 18-year-old out of Brookfield, might have a little advantage here. She knows what's out there on the lanes. Let's see if she makes the adjustment from the prior matches.
Well, knowing what's out there is one thing. Making the quality shots and staying slow at the ball speed is another. We know that was Maddie's issue during the first two matches. When she was making an errant shot, it was all about the lack of ball speed. And you can see right there, it stays firm with the speed. No problem keeping it on target line, and a strike to start off the match. Now it's just a matter of keeping that rhythm going for 9 more frames. Sometimes not the easiest to do.
Repeatability and consistency, that's what bowling's all about, and way too light there in the pocket.
Well, way too quick on the ball speed. Didn't give that ball a chance to roll up at all like we saw in frame number 1. She's playing a little bit farther right on lane 3, so it must be playing a little tighter for her. She's trying to play direct. But you pick up that ball speed and no chance to get into the pocket. Not an easy spare here with the bucket combination.
The word of the tournament is ball speed. Thought that was going to convert. Opens the door for our number 1 seed, Tatum Ruffalo.
Well, and right there for Brandos, once again, she needed to get that ball to slow down a little bit more to get over across into that 2-5 pocket to take all 4 pins out, and just failed to do so. Go back, get yourself refocused, and get yourself firm on the speed, but not too much. Once again, Ruffalo firm on the speed,
right.
but a little too far right. You can see she's not happy with the release on that one. You kind of saw the release kind of come out to the right, and then she tried to fake it by bringing it back in.
Right.
Well, the ball was out of her hand already, so that part really didn't matter. But a little stronger roll on the ball. Same ball speed she had in frame 1, allowed that ball to get back, tickle the head pin, and just leave a single pin for the spare. Should have no problem picking up this 2-pin. Very disciplined player.
Would that be a half chicken wing?
It was slight, but it's just something where you can't force the ball down through the swing. You got to stay nice and fluid like we normally see out of both these young players. They don't force it down from the top of the swing all the way through to past the ankle. It's just let gravity do the work. Stay on target line with the swing and let the chips fall where they may. Better shot there from Ruffalo.
And able to trip out the 10. That was great.
You just see the firm position at the end of the follow-through. No chicken wing out. Follow through straight through to the right side of the face, and the strong roll quite a few feet before the pocket. Gets that 6-pin to do the work on the 10.
All right. Maddie Brandos needs to bounce back here after an open in the second frame. Looks good. And a little bit of a break.
Well, we've seen her live and die by that light hit all day long. You know, the one thing about that light hit, you watch the ball when it gets deflected through the pocket, it's almost hitting the 6-pin, and that's letting the 6-pin drive into the 10, and you actually saw that on that shot. The ball hit the 1, 3, and 6, and then the head pin takes out the left side of the rack. The 6-pin goes directly into the 10. It's not an easy shot to repeat, though, and you're going to leave some single pins with the lack of roll there. No problem that time.
That was her best ball of the day so far right there. That was a solid pocket strike.
A big double to bounce back off that open. Keeps her within striking distance. Tatum Ruffalo. Ruffalo now looking to answer back with a double of her own.
The 18-year-old out of Waterford.
Much
right there.
Cleaner through that shot as compared to the shot in the second frame. You see the strength of the roll through the pocket and devastated all 10 pins of that shot. We talk about it often on these shows, and it's a point that you really have to make. It's not about how many boards you cover, it's about how that ball is rolling when it gets to that 1-3 pocket. And that's one of the beautiful things about this sport of bowling. It's not always about strength, it's not always about size, it's not always about power. It's about combining accuracy with having your ball make the right move in the right part of the lane, and unfortunately, for Tatum Ruffalo there, she needed about a 75-foot lane to find the 1-3 pocket.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we are using the standard 60-foot lane from the foul line to the head pin today, and no chance for that ball after it leaked out to the right to come back in to 1-3 pocket.
Just a complete miss of target and lots of ball speed. Again, that word, ball speed. But Convert your spares, kids.
Point A to point B on the spares, all you have to do with those single pin and most 2-pin combinations is just knock them over. The only time you really need to get some type of drive through is if you have a railroad combination, a 3-8, a 2-8 or a 3-9 combination, where you got to make sure you have enough angle into the front pin to take out the back pin.
We've seen solid pocket strikes out of both of these bowlers. Light and it goes sometimes. There was a nice one again from Maddie.
Well, that's our first turkey of the day. Good time for that. Another $25 gift certificate for High Five Gear for Maddie Brandos. That makes a total of $50 today. That's a good chunk towards a brand new High Five Gear jersey for her. Not like she's not sporting a nice jersey right now, but so many different designs they offer at High Five Gear and so many different ways you can customize your jersey for what you want in your life.
Not only taking care of the professional bowlers in the world, but Wisconsin's very own High Five Gear. So,
well, Brando's running into the same problem that Ruffalo ran into on lane 3 in her last attempt on there. Fast in the ball speed, a couple boards to the right, no chance of finding the pocket, and this isn't an easy spare.
could have gotten over emotional. Had that 3-bagger there. Wow. Picks up the spare as the 2017 Hard Knocks Road to Gold Girls Final. The championship match continues next here in Cudahy, Wisconsin. Back to the action at the 2017 Hard Knocks Road to Gold Girls Championship match. Van McNeil alongside Phil Brylow.
Big break there for Ruffalo in the 6th frame. Had the big four standing for a moment. Got lucky to trip the 6-10 out. Stays clean, converts her spare. And now getting ready to try to set up the rest of the match. A little bit of a weak 10 for Ruffalo. And once again, plugging along. These young ladies, phenomenal spare shooting all day long for both of them. Only 3 open frames so far for Brandos in her 3 matches. Ruffalo clean through her first 7 frames. And tell you what, you don't have to have a high-scoring match to make things exciting, Van, and we're proving that right now with how these 2 young ladies are just grinding through this championship match.
We've seen Maddie grinding all day out here on this telecast. Thought that was going to go no break for Maddie Brandos.
Yeah, when you use these slight angles that Brandos is using through the front part and back part of the lane, it kind of makes your pocket a little bit smaller, and right there you see nice high flush hit. If she had a little more angle, that 2-pin would have actually came off the sideboard to take down the 4. But with that slight angle, 2-pin goes a little straighter back, misses the 4. Should have no problem covering up the single pin.
She does. The 18-year-old out of Brookfield, Wisconsin, bowling for Robert Morris. The home house is Diversey River Bowl down in Chicago.
We goof around sometimes in the show, Van, with saying, you know, kids make your spares. We
Right.
kind of pound it through once in a while. We may overpound that point through, but the ladies are proving it today. Maddie Brandos, if she leaves an extra open frame in either one of her first 2 matches, she's not to this point right now. Tatum Ruffalo staying clean. That's what has her ahead in the match, even with 1 less strike on the board than what Maddie Brandos has. So
And again, wide right of the pocket. Ball speed. Didn't have a chance to grab there on the back end.
And once again, count hurting. 6 count for Brandos is really going to let Ruffalo get a chance to expand her lead next frame up. And never an easy spare when you leave these 3- and 4-pin combinations. Covers it like a pro that time, though. She used a little bit of the bounce around approach when she was up in the 6th frame on that same leave. Used deflection and the sideboards to take it down. And that time, textbook cover for Brandos.
We have ourselves a match here, ladies and gentlemen. The battle of the 18-year-olds. In Brookfield, Wisconsin's Maddie Brandos taking on our top seed from Waterford, Tatum Ruffalo. That needs to hurry. And now in a bit of trouble. Oh, boy.
Yeah, she looks puzzled right now, but she should know that release was far from clean. And that ball just had nothing on it when it got to the pocket. Early roll, not a lot of revs on it. Right there you just see skating all the way through, late recovery, and I give Ruffalo, because of that 7-pin there, makes it really tough. You have to have enough speed, have the 4-pin bounce off the sideboard, take out the 7. I'll give her about a 25% chance of converting this, Van.
Yeah, highly improbable conversion here.
And of course, proving his doubters wrong is one Tatum Ruffalo. Great conversion in a pressure situation.
Wow.
That keeps her ahead in the match
That's
by
it.
4 pins with 2 frames to go. And once again, we talked about the count for Brandos last time out. Those couple of 6 counts, if they're 9 counts instead, Brandos is in the lead in this match. So really clutch situation to keep Ruffalo in the lead. And if she strikes here, Brandos cannot shut her out in the match.
Must strike for Ruffalo. Wow, when it counts, Ruffalo delivers.
Well, with that shot there, Tatum knows that no matter what Brandos does, she will have a chance to step up in the 10th frame and take home this Hard Knocks Road to Gold Girls Championship match and that $200 Visa gift card that comes with it. $100 Visa gift card for second place, but we know that is not what either of these ladies are concerned with right now. It's bringing home the gold.
It's all about the title, Phil. Solid pocket strike for Maddie Brandos.
Makes a little adjustment off that 4-pin she left last time on that lane. She moved her feet a little farther left, stayed firm with the ball speed, and watched that ball drive through that 1-3 pocket. Takes all 10 back into the pit. And now it's just basically who has the better 10th frame. That's what we're down to, Van.
Right.
Whatever Brandos does here, Ruffalo has the match to win.
Pressure, clutch situation. The time is now. And straight through the head.
She made the over adjustment from the last 2 shots, missing the head pin right. You just see the tentativeness on that shot coming out of her hand. Way too direct. Lucky to take the 9-pin out of that shot, so it makes it a bit easier with just the 3, 6, and 10 combo. Spare here, a must.
Needs it to stay alive. Converts.
Well, count here not super important right now, unless you were to get a 3 count and really throw a bad shot. I mean, right now, strike here, Brandos 197. That just forces Ruffalo to go any mark in the 10th and a good count for the win. Of course, a strike would lock it up for Ruffalo regardless on the first ball.
Any added pressure here, a strike would help Brandos, and that kept on seeing.
Count not huge right there, because now for Ruffalo, if she goes any spare and a 5 count, she's a winner. So count wasn't huge on that particular shot. But Ruffalo needs any mark and 5, and she's going to take home this Road to Gold Girls Championship. Once again, I want to thank Hard Knocks for their sponsorship and their awarding of the great gift cards here this week.
Strike for the win.
Almost got a break there with the 4-pin falling into either a 2 or 5. Almost that same shot she had in frame, too. You just saw her kind of fake the release back in.
Right.
And the problem with this is, Van, it's choppable. You got the 2-pin. You can chop it off the 5. Angle important here with the polyester ball.
Yeah,
she's
I
going
want
to
to
go straight at it.
That's a spare ball, so knowing Ruffalo, we've seen her bowl. That's a make. As we...
That's it. It's done.
what? Huh?
Chop the spare. It's over. Maddie Brandos takes home the title on the chop from Tatum Ruffalo. And wow, we got to talk about this when we get back, man. We're going to get out of here for a minute, and we'll wrap up the show for Motion Plus Lanes shortly. Barbiere's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mound Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee. Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com.
Welcome back to Motion Plus Lanes here in Cudahy, Wisconsin. Van McNeil alongside Phil Brylow as we wrap up the 2017 Hard Knocks Road to Gold Girls Final. I think we're all still a little stunned as to what just went down, Phil.
Yeah, Tatum Ruffalo in control of the match the entire match. little bit back and forth with Maddie Brandos, and came down to just needing a mark in the 10th frame. Left a simple 2-5 combination, but as we all know, choppable spare, and the worst thing happened at the worst possible time for Tatum Ruffalo. Chopped the 2 off the time in the 10th frame and handed that title over to Maddie Brandos.
Just goes to show that every pin counts in a situation like that, Phil. So we wrap up with the ladies here. The boys are coming up, right?
And the boys are coming up next. And, gee, here's a surprise. Brent Boho is in the finals, and Brent Boho is leading the stepladder finals. So it's going to be a great show once we get on that pattern, and we'll see what Brent chooses out of the 3 patterns to bowl that stepladder on, and we'll have some couple of new faces you haven't seen before on our Spectrum Sports shows for that boys final. Really looking forward to that, and also $200 on a Visa gift card on top.
Once again, a very big congratulations to Maddie Brandos, our 2017 Hard Knocks Road to Gold Girls Champion. For the entire crew here, my name is Van McNeil. Thanks for watching.
Oh,